Let's make it last forever, cause the nights stay young. It's true, I feel the pressure every time you're gone. As long as we're together, this moment lasts forever.
Hey everyone, my name is Destyni and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have a really fun and exciting video for you all. What $2,000 can get you in New York City, specifically Manhattan. My boyfriend and I recently just moved into our new apartment here. Prior to, we spent about 3 months just scouring the city to see what our budget could get us, along with the types of neighborhoods that we could see ourselves in. There were a few non-negotiables we had to ensure while looking for our apartment, and the first was that it had to be dog friendly. Not only the building itself, but also just accessibility to a park was super important. Considering that Andrew and I both spend a lot of time inside, we really wanted to find a 1-bedroom so that we could separate our living space and our sleeping space from our workspace as well.
Imagine living in a studio.
See, this is why we needed a 1-bedroom apartment. First, I was super on board for a studio. I thought the aesthetic of it was super awesome, and Andrew was like, no, hard no. I was like, wow, you're lame, but we're running into complications as we speak as of recording. Another non-negotiable for us was that we wanted a functional kitchen. You'd be surprised some of the things that they categorize as kitchens here, but we wanted a place where we could comfortably cook. And the last non-negotiable was that we wanted an apartment with bright light, because I feel like it's just super important. If you've watched other New York City apartment hunt videos, you've probably already heard of Street Easy. Andrew and I actually tried to expand our research outside of Street Easy. We looked on project listings and on Lawfully, but at the end of it all, Street Easy was just the most updated in terms of their listings, and the realtors on there were the most responsive. If you don't know what Street Easy is, it's basically just a website where you can find apartments that are available. Andrew and I toured a bunch of apartments, but in today's video I will be showing you guys 7 apartments in various neighborhoods, their price points, the pros and cons, and all of that good stuff. So let's go ahead and get right into it. The first apartment we looked at was in the Upper West Side, and it was originally $21.95, but it did have 1 month free, so net effective it was only $2,000 a month. A few of the pros here were, as you can see in the video, right when you walk in, there are huge windows, so the apartment itself was really bright with natural light. I also really liked the exposed brick wall. The neighborhood itself was great. On one end of the block was Central Park, and on the other end was a busy street full of fun restaurants. The loft, although it was cool, it was also kind of awkward. We tried walking up the ladder and it was just really inconvenient. We didn't really want to climb up into our bed every night. Some of the cons were that the kitchen was really old and really small, and really there was no pantry, like nothing you could put there to store your food, your appliances, so that was a large reason as to why we said no to this place. The bathroom was cool because it was yellow, but it was also really old and the grout was all gray. And eventually they did take the listing off of Street Easy, so I think someone signed it out. I think for around $2,000 a month, it was a pretty good deal considering that the neighborhood was phenomenal. The next apartment we looked at was in Hell's Kitchen. Prior to COVID, it was around $2,900 a month, but because of COVID, there was a deal for $2,400 a month. When you first walk into the apartment, you're greeted with an open kitchen, and it also had a breakfast bar that connected to the living room. The living room was also really spacious, big windows, very nice bright natural light in here. There was also a lot of closet/storage space. Some of the cons were that this apartment was kind of far from a train station, and it wasn't necessarily dog friendly because there weren't any parks nearby. But despite the cons, we were actually going to apply to this place because we really liked how spacious it was, but it went so quickly. I think the next day it got signed out. The next apartment we looked at was in South Central Park, and it was about $2,400 a month. There was no COVID deal. A few of the pros about this apartment was that the living space was really open, and I liked that the kitchen was more or less a full-size kitchen and that it was sectioned off from the living room. It just contains all the food smell back in that corner. There was also a lot of storage on the back wall in this apartment. It also had a fire escape. The apartment itself was really dim. I'm assuming because of however the window direction was turned. I don't really know, but the apartment didn't have good natural lighting. And for the price point, I didn't think this apartment was worth it. We had seen other apartments that were a lot better for this price point. Now we're moving to the Upper East Side. The first apartment we're looking at here was $1,900 per month. I don't know if there was a COVID deal or if that's how much it usually is. A few of the pros about this apartment, right when you walk walk in, it's really bright, it's on the first floor so you didn't have to climb up any stairs, and the exposed brick was really pretty. A few cons of this apartment are that this is probably one of the smallest apartments I have ever seen. The living room and the kitchen share a space pretty much. The bedroom was really dark and the hallway was extremely narrow. Because we have dogs and there was 2 of us, there was no way in heck we were going to be living here. In the video you can see Andrew more or less shoulder to shoulder with the walls. I could see this apartment working for someone who maybe lives alone, but it was not going to work out for us. This next apartment was actually in the same building as the one I just showed you guys. It was just a couple of floors up. It was $22.50 a month. As you can see, even though it's in the same building, the floor plans are completely different. What I liked about this apartment when you walked in was that you could see the separation between the living room and the kitchen. I loved the bright windows, and I feel like the kitchen was a pretty decent size along with just all the character details. Just a few of the cons were that it was a 4th floor walk up and it also had a really small bedroom. We actually really liked this apartment, but we continued our search. The next apartment I'm showing you guys was still also in the Upper East Side. It was originally $22.95, but because of COVID, I think they gave around like 3 months free, so net effective it was about $17.21. To name a few of the pros, there was an outdoor space and also is on the first floor. But for the cons, you can see in the video it was a really small apartment. It was sloped. The kitchen and the living room were more or less the same, so you could fit either a sofa in there or a table. You couldn't have both. It was not practical for what we were looking for. Last but not least, the apartment we signed for. To be completely transparent, we are paying $2,100 a month and there is no COVID deal, unfortunately, but it's within budget. We're making a full circle, you guys. The first apartment I showed you guys, this apartment that we're living in now, is just the building right next to it. Very, very similar floor plan. It has the yellow bathroom, and all the cons of the first apartment in this apartment, they don't exist here. There's no loft here. I feel like the bedroom and the living room are slightly bigger. We didn't like that the kitchen was small. This place has a separated kitchen, and I still have the yellow bathroom, and before we moved in, they actually regrouted everything. We finally have a place to call home, and I can't wait to show you guys what I do with the place in my apartment tour, which will be coming when this place is finished. It's right around the corner. I just don't know exactly when yet. That is pretty much for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing various New York City apartments in different neighborhoods and the price points and what you could possibly get. As usual, remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you all in my next YouTube video. Bye!